Holy cow!
What a game.
Too hot for the hot tub. I don't know what I just witnessed in the third period of Edmonton and the LA Kings, and I want to start with that because everyone watched it. Go watch the highlights. We don't show highlights. We just give you our two takes of this game. The oddest part about this game to me isn't the fact that it looked like LA was playing to win. They weren't playing to pour it on. They weren't playing to score some more. They were playing to, we have the lead on the road. We're ahead by a goal. We're doing just fine. And what do you need in the playoffs?
Just goals.
Dirty goals. And
that too.
Who is better at that than Evander Kane?
Oh, he was back. That was a big thing.
I mean, what does he do? He literally, I will knock all the people down that are trying to knock me down, and then I'm going to whack at the puck, kick it around. They challenge the goal. Challenge denied.
Seriously, what was that challenge?
Did you think it was a good challenge, or did you think it was terrible?
It was horrible. I don't know what were they challenging that Kopitar brought his stick up? Or that Kane brought his stick up?
You can only challenge the goal, so you can't challenge anything else. You can only challenge the goal. So they were trying to challenge that Kane didn't hit the puck; he hit the pad.
It's totally the puck. It was. I thought that challenge was horrible. If it was that, then the challenge was horrible because then that easily resulted into a power play. And that was the freest goal I've ever seen.
How fast did they score? The fastest goal you've ever seen. What was
10
LA
seconds.
doing? LA was just watching them.
Yeah, there was only two defenders on the back side, and this one was on the left, and it was all over.
The power play goal didn't make any sense. You lose your timeout. The challenge, I love the fact that you have to do a penalty because of that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great. That's what you want to see, in my opinion. So there's a risk reward. You know what I mean?
Yep.
A lot of times you can challenge, you lose a timeout, nobody cares. This is, you get a guy in the box. I love that. He should have, in my opinion, he should have not challenged. It would have been better to just take the timeout. Settle your team down, regroup. I mean, the Kings, in watching this series, in the second period, they respond so well. And their power play this series is...
Yeah. And did you see that?
Unbelievable.
Penalty kill for Edmonton is horrible. They were asking what Evander Kane had to do better on that penalty kill, and it's just everything. They're allowing a goal every single time.
Both teams this game are 2 for 2 in special teams in the power play, which is, again, crazy. But I go back to, this is game 3. If the Kings win, would you say it's over? Series is done. Edmonton's not going to win 4 in a row?
No, because they showed that they could come back in last year's Stanley Cup, and so anything
I
can
understand
happen.
that, but to me, if the Kings win this game, it is so.
Thing is, it was such a close game that you can't even say it was. If it was a blowout, then yeah, obviously, that game was too close to call it a series. Either way,
I feel that allowing Edmonton to get the win, they're back.
Yeah,
they're back.
They are.
And
Edmonton is fired up.
And that, which crowd was the best tonight, by the way?
Oh my goodness!
Dude, the crowds were amazing. Montreal to start and Edmonton to finish.
They were out.
These watch parties outside the arena are the best.
They're absolutely killing it outside. I love watching those cams and everybody going crazy.
Did you see on McDavid's goal in the arena on the empty netter? Did you see the guy who just ripped his whole shirt off when he scored? He was just I'm undressing right here in the stadium.
Oh my goodness.
Hockey does something to people that's so beautiful.
It's crazy. It's a great sport. And the playoffs are crazy.
Montreal was great,
amazing
crowd. And to finish it off on the nightcap with Edmonton was also great.
It was perfect.
I felt we'll get to the New Jersey Devils game. I felt that was more of a nervous, because Montreal laid the wood earlier. But let's just, from your standpoint, you said you had every team winning that was behind in the series. I
Yeah.
also had Edmonton winning tonight. I felt like they weren't going to do it. They weren't going to lose. But then watching their power kill, I was like, this is pathetic. Like, if
Yeah.
LA gets a power play, they're going to score every time.
Mm-hmm.
So what I was watching this thinking, I don't know what's going to happen here.
Exactly.
And the Kings take the lead the whole third period. They're just playing prevent.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if they just start to try to do some old LA Kings, I think they could have been up like by another goal.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you change what works, but I'm not there and I'm not the coach.
Mm-hmm. So, like, when they opened it up in Edmonton and they scored those 2 goals, I was like, oh, crap, wait, this is Edmonton. They could do something here. But then LA started going. They were like, okay, it's Edmonton now. We get it. 2-2, right? And 3-2.
You mean the Kings responded?
Yep, they responded quick, and it was not like a build-up.
They owned the second period.
The second period was great. That was an entertaining period. The goal that tied it up, and then Trevor Moore. I mean, that one-hander that went through Pickard's 5-hole.
I'm sorry. I watched that with my sons, and one plays goalie and one does not. And I watched that replay, and I said, that's a terrible goal. You cannot. He tried.
Like,
he thought he was.
What can he do?
He thought he was taking the stick, and he thought he was clearing it. He missed.
No,
the
because
puck.
what can Trevor Moore do? Like, else than just gut it to the 5-hole? I thought Pickard, that's an easy read.
But the problem was it was a changeup. So you know how when you watch baseball, you get the fastball, the changeup. When he hit it, it was going so slow. When he missed it with the stick moving, opened up his 5-hole, and it's done. It's over. And I was like, that's not the play there. You just scored. Just all you have to do is just let it absorb it because he's not going to have a rebound.
Yeah, exactly.
I get what he's doing. He's trying to get rid of the puck because he doesn't want to rebound. I understand what he's doing. These guys are professional goalies. They're the best in the world. I understand all that too. But I just watched the replay, and I was like, that is the worst goal. And then they went to McDavid, and I was like, this has got to be, like, how bad is that second period break?
It feels
just
bad.
like, he's like, can we get anybody? Can we get somebody a bag of Doritos?
It's like, you see this happens, and you're like, okay, which direction is this game going? Is it Edmonton's or is it LA's? You don't know, and that's the best thing about these playoffs.
When they scored the 4th goal to go up 4-3 on the response, you saw the crowd?
Oh,
like,
boy.
The crowd felt like they got robbed, stolen from their car, their house was burnt, and their dog was killed. It all felt all those emotions in like one instance.
Oh my goodness. And then, like, I feel like the whole game just fell apart for LA on that challenge. They had it, and it's like, it's not like Kemper could do something on that. And Kemper was like Superman. You do see that Superman save that he had? He was playing out of his mind. And so was Pickard. I mean, the goalies in these series are insane. And when it was 4-3 and then Evander Kane had the goal, if you don't challenge that, you go into overtime. And it's a completely different game.
I don't know if you do. I mean, you're 4-4 and the way LA has always responded. I feel really confident about that.
But look how Edmonton
but I also
was responding too.
I don't think LA thought their power kill was going to be that bad.
My goodness, man.
That was like the fastest goal ever. I literally was just like, I was like, oh, they won the challenge. Holy cow, what did I just watch?
Yeah, exactly.
And then the whole game changed. And then LA had a couple good runs at it, but just not enough. McDavid gets 3 more points. Shocking development.
This is fun,
Breaking news, McDavid's great.
Most points, guess who?
So Edmonton's back. Who do you have? We'll go over tomorrow's game. Edmonton's back. Any other big takeaways besides the fact Edmonton changed their goalie out?
I mean, no, yeah, Pickard was great. He took the goalie out, but no, not really. It was a bounce back from Edmonton, which they needed. You know, that was big.
Let's go with the boringest game to me, which was Carolina, New Jersey. And the reason why I say it was boring is because I feel like Carolina is like vanilla ice cream, no toppings, no fudge, just like they are there.
Hey, you said it would not be close. You said it wouldn't be close.
I like ice cream. I know I was watching it. That's probably why I was like, oh, this is annoying. I wanted Carolina to end this thing. New Jersey had so many chances in the first overtime.
Yeah, this is what I said yesterday. They have chances and they don't finish.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is inevitable. They're gonna lose this to like one of those goals that just like bounces around and scores, and then they're down 3-0. But they get the
Please,
second
man.
overtime goal, so now it's a series. It's 2-1.
Exactly.
Who would have thunk it?
Oh boy, that overtime. I was like switching between no, I had two of these monitors open to both games, so I was like, oh wait, King scored. Oh wait, now it's double overtime. Which game do I look at? Then, man, that Nemec goal, that was Freddie had that. It was right there, but then it just slipped. Nothing you can. I mean, no, you could trap it, but there it goes.
Listen, Carolina goaltender saved them in the first overtime.
He bailed him out.
I could not believe how many amazing saves he made, and I was like, that's why I was just like, this is destiny. You're going to lose. When a team's goalie is standing on his head in the first overtime, I felt like it just takes all the oxygen out from you, and like, all the fans were ready to like go crazy and win. So New Jersey's back in it. You said they were going to win. They won. I said this is the one I missed. You're 3-0 today on your picks. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So for those betting at home, this is what you want to be here for. Just so you know, Nick, pick with Nick. Don't pick with me. I'm going to tell you what I want. I told you Edmonton in my heart, but in my head I was like Kings. So if I was betting tonight,
exactly,
I would have said Montreal, Carolina, and I would have said Kings. That was my 3 for.
Oh boy.
So I'd have been 1-2.
And then I would have been
Montreal,
New Jersey, Edmonton, 3 for 3, cash it out.
That's right. Everybody, just so you know, he can't bet, but you can using his predictions. And he doesn't want anything. He doesn't want 10%, doesn't want 5%. You don't have to call some crazy number and hear some crazy guy talking really fast. You just listen to Nick. It's soothing late nights with Nick talking hockey.
Exactly.
So
little fun fact here.
Yep, fun fact.
I looked at these playoffs and their stats. There's been 23 games, and the face-off percentage. If you have a better face-off percentage, it's been 12 out of 23 games, which I thought it would be 23 out of 23, but it's close. It's basically 50-50 with face-off percentage. So face-offs
don't, unless you're Toronto.
Yesterday we were saying face-offs matter the most. They were crazy. But then you look at the face-off percentages, it matters in the important situations. Like when Matthews won that in overtime, that was a big situation and you had to win that face-off. So it's not around the whole game, it's that one important moment when you have to win those face-offs.
But nobody knows when those moments are going to be.
Exactly.
That's why the face-offs, I agree with you, and I've watched a lot of like single round elimination. Everyone knows I got my DU hat on tonight. Big hockey guy for college. The face-offs are critical for moments, like 2 minutes left in the game and overtime, those kind of things. But you're not wrong. Like you can lose face-offs and be just fine and be all right. I will say this: after watching the games last evening to this evening, and watching it with other hockey guys at a hockey arena, which is where I was tonight, the consensus of everybody is that St. Louis is the most violent team in the playoffs.
Oh yeah. After
watching all the games that I have watched thus far, if you're Winnipeg, you have the worst draw. It is the most violent one.
Exactly.
Because New Jersey don't hit like this. Carolina doesn't hit like this.
Not even Washington.
No, Washington's big, but St. Louis is like, you're going
just
to
the way
die.
They're moving. There's like the way they're moving. I think they can sweep everybody in the playoffs right now. And the way Jordan Kyrou shoots and the way their defense is playing, I don't.
So you like my pick of them in the Stanley Cup final? That's what you're saying.
St. Louis, as of right now, maybe.
They're violent.
Maybe.
Anyways, they're fun to watch. They'll be playing again, I believe, tomorrow. But we'll get to that in a minute. So your thoughts on the Devils? Are they back in the series? Game 4 is there? Or you think this is just like they get some oxygen, they get some space, they feel good, they lick their wounds, they did all right. Carolina comes storming back in Game 4. What are you thinking about the series?
So I had originally Carolina in 6, and I think it's still going to shape out to be that.
Okay, so you can see Jersey winning Game 4 or 5.
Yeah, they could win either or. I'm not sure if it's going to be 4 or 5. It could be a toss-up, or they could come rolling out tomorrow. But it was very, very close, this game, and it could not have been because they could have scored on a lot of opportunities, and Carolina could have scored on a lot of opportunities. Both goalies were playing great. That game, to me, it was like a little confusing. Timo Meyer, I am stunned that he has no goals, and the fact that their power play is 0 for a million, it's really confusing me because they have Nico Hischier, Jesper Bratt, Timo Meyer,
I'll tell
Dougie
you.
Hamilton.
I'll tell you what I see. So, the opportunities are there; they're not cashing them in. And this is. I was gonna say like doesn't when I compare it in my mind to my eyes to the Avs in Colorado, I feel like the Avs in Colorado have so few good opportunities that it's like if you don't score because the goalie makes a great play, I understand it. In this series, I feel both teams have opportunities. My gut tells me watching this, the Devils just can't finish.
Yeah, and Carolina knows what it takes. So if the Devils don't go into next game finishing and not having 7 goals, then Carolina is going to absolutely take it because they can finish on opportunities.
I would agree, but it was a great game for the Devils. New Jersey fans are happy they can go back to wherever they live, and I'm sorry for wherever you live in New Jersey. You can vote differently. There's better ways. There's other options. I'm just telling you, as one friend to another. Let's go to the game of the night for you. I think this was the game of the night for you because it started it off. You were absolutely thrilled. So everyone remembers or doesn't remember, you picked Montreal to win the series against Washington. You hate Washington for the various things in your room, the Penguins, the Penguin jerseys. You will never cheer for Washington. Washington can win the cup again, and you want to burn it to the ground.
Yep.
So this is how he feels about Washington. Mm-hmm. Watching this Montreal game, and I'm just going to take you to a period in the game. I believe Washington scores to make it 3-2 in the third period, very early on. And before Montreal scores the tie goal, what was your thought after Washington scored that goal? Were you still feeling confident, or were you like, oh, dang it, here we go?
So you're talking about the Ovechkin goal to tie it up?
I think it was the Ovechkin goal. Was it the tie or was it the lead?
That was a tie. In the third period.
Right. Yes, you're correct. Sorry. I was thinking it was the lead. Nope, it was the tie to make it 3-3. They scored a tie very quickly.
So I saw that goal, and my first reaction was, oh my God. You serious? Because then I'm thinking everybody's going to talk about, oh, who else but Ovechkin? Ovechkin, the greatest goal scorer of all time. And then I talk about, oh, man, his body weight, his stick lift, and all of that. It's a one-timer.
Of course.
It was a good pass. And then they tied it up, and I was like, okay, I'm really worried now because if they win this game, it's 3-0.
It's over.
And I'm done. So it's not over in the game, though. It's 3-3. I was still like, Montreal has the edge on this game because they're in Montreal and just what they had. And so they scored that the 4-3 goal. I believe it was Slavkovsky, and the rookie, I think that was the goal where Logan Thompson got injured.
The fourth goal was Christian Dvorak.
Dvorak.
Thank you. He's the kid, right?
Yeah.
And that was a great assist. That's literally was less than 2 minutes after that Ovechkin goal. So you didn't have much time to worry. Montreal comes storming back. The fans in that arena,
they were buzzing.
Again, I know Edmonton. We watched them all last year. Montreal's fans were so great.
Are amazing. It's hockey country. They were lit. Everybody was drunk.
Couldn't wait to be there. It was wonderful. This is where they want to be. It's fantastic.
Exactly.
This was it. And so when I look at it from after that, you were probably just floating. Then they score the fifth goal. Then they score the next goal, and it's like 6-3. You're feeling like you feel like now they're gonna win it all, right? You're like, this is it.
Yeah, it was the Slavkovsky goal that made it 5-3, I guess now. And then when he scored that, you saw Logan Thompson was dead on the ice because Dylan Strome, he was trying to stop that 2-on-1, and then he checked his neck, and then he went back, and it was bad for Logan Thompson, but he was getting healed off the ice. He couldn't walk. So when he was like that, it was 5-3. I was like, it's over now. They scored another one. It's over now. There's nothing Washington can do without Logan Thompson. Charlie Lindgren is not as good as Logan
Hands
Thompson.
down, I agree wholeheartedly.
And Logan Thompson was, I was thinking to myself, who's the most impressive goalie of this playoff so far? You could say Mackenzie Blackwood's the most surprising, but Logan Thompson was the best. He was the best. I think he had the best goals against average. He was insane. And now that they don't have him, and when he was on the ice and then he was off, I was like, oh, Montreal's got it in the bag now. Washington is cooked. Fried.
You got a backdoor sweep. You got 4 games in a row for Montreal now.
It's over. Montreal, everyone.
So just so
Logan
everyone knows,
Thompson's
there's
out.
no bias here. There's no bias with Nick. He's completely objective. He doesn't
Totally.
erase from your mind what I said earlier about the Penguins and the hatred for Washington. How do I feel about Washington without Logan Thompson? I would say that I'm worried. Would I say that it's over? No. Will I give this game to Montreal? Did I think Montreal was going to win this game? Yes. Am I happy for Montreal? Certainly. Is Game 4 going to be the game? Yes, it is. But I will tell you this. Watching this game, Montreal, I think they're a lot more competitive in this series than I gave them credit.
Oh, yeah.
And I also think Martin St. Louis, hats off, amazing player, and he's pulling on the right strings, and he's making the right calls. And as a coach, you got to say, how many awards is this guy going to have in his life? And is it fair for one man to have that many awards, Nick? He's got the Stanley Cup. He's got the most valuable player award, I believe. He's got like the most points in a season. He's got his number retired in the Hall of Fame for Tampa.
And then he's a coach.
He's a coach, and he's like, I'm not finished. My story's not done.
And so you said this game's for going to be super important, and I think it is going to be the most important because say Charlie Lindgren is in this game now. He's playing for Logan Thompson.
I'll give it right now to Montreal if you tell me that happens.
And say he doesn't play to his 100 full potential, and he's not that amazing, and Montreal wins that game.
I'm telling you right now, if I'm the Washington coach, if Logan Thompson's not 100%, you're not playing him Game 4. You're up 2-1. There's no reason to play him Game 4. If he gets hurt really bad, if he's not feeling it, you don't play him Game 4. You want him back fully healthy. But again, I don't know the injury, and they're not going to tell us. So you don't know if you can hold him off Game 4. Is he really going to be healthy in Game 5? I don't know. But I'll tell you this, you're not wrong about if Logan's not in, that's a different team.
Oh, yeah. And so my original take on the series was Montreal in 7. And so how I think that 7-game series is going to fan out, like I said, Charlie Lindgren plays in this game, not that good. Montreal wins. Take it 2-2. Now Game 5 in Washington. Washington's going to chip it away very close because they have that crowd. They're going to win it in overtime in Game 6.
Okay.
No, Game 5.
Game
right?
5, you
so
have
now
overtime.
Game 6, we're going back to Montreal.
Hold on. Take notes, everybody.
Exactly.
Listen to what he's saying. He's not gambling, but you can.
Exactly.
Continue. You got overtime Game 6. Game 5.
So now Game 6, you're back into Montreal. Say it's going to be like a 7-goal game for Montreal.
You say it's Montreal on the over.
Right? So now it's in Washington for Game 7.
Yep.
I'm going to take Canadians by like 2 or 3 goals. This is how Game 4 plays out, and if Logan Thompson plays.
Would you retire if you're Martin St. Louis after you beat Washington? You just haven't won enough cups? So I want every kid out there listening, and you're like, I think I did really good in math. I got an A this semester. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Martin St. Louis is going to have like 14 Stanley Cups.
Just so you know.
And so whatever you're doing, wake up, work out, get after it. Eat your Wheaties, boys. Martin St. Louis coming after you.
Martin St. Louis is better than you. Nobody cares that you did good on your test. Martin St. Louis.
And for all the people out there who are like, but I'm not tall enough. Let me give you Martin St. Louis.
Oh, so fun to watch.
I didn't get drafted. May I point you out to Martin St. Louis? And I know we're in the NFL draft, and my favorite is a lot of these NFL players are like tweeting out about like, hey, I didn't get drafted, and they have a Hall of Fame jacket, and I'm like, legit awesome. Like, I love that. Might as well flex on everybody. Martin St. Louis is the greatest flex of all time.
Totally.
Like, when you score a goal, you should be like, St. Louis. Anyhow, you love Montreal. That's what we're looking at. That was the 3 games last night or tonight. And for those watching us tomorrow, let's go to our gambling picks for those that are wanting to know. What are the 4 games that I believe are going to happen? So I'm going to go. I shouldn't even comment, but I'm going to do rapid fire. You're going to lay it out a little bit longer. So I'm just going to go top to bottom. Now, these are a lot of tight matchups. You got the Lightning at the Florida Panthers. The Lightning are down 2-0. Florida Panthers are ahead. They look really great. Who do you have tomorrow night or tonight, whenever you watch this podcast?
Yep. So, Florida and Florida. Or Florida and Tampa Bay, whichever way you want to go. I'm going to say straight, I'm going to take Tampa Bay. And I know I've taken Tampa Bay these past couple games and they haven't won. But now that they haven't won this game, that was Sergei Bobrovsky's game in Game 2. So now that we're in Game 3, you're going to beat Sergei Bobrovsky and he's not going to have a shutout. I think Brandon Hagel has to step up. I think everybody has to step up. And so I think they're going to get around and it's going to be exciting. Obviously, Florida, they're going to be pumped up. But Vasilevsky, he was great last game. He's making a lot of saves. He's better than his Game 1 performance, obviously. I think if he plays like that in this Game 3, they're going to get around Bobrovsky. And I'm going to take Tampa Bay.
We're taking Tampa, which means my heart wants Tampa. Just like my heart wanted Edmonton. But my head is telling me that Florida is going to win this one. I got Florida up 3-0. I know I picked Tampa. It's not looking very good for my pick. Next one is the Golden Knights at the Minnesota Wild. I hung out, just so you know, I hung out with a guy from Minnesota tonight. He is so happy that his 2 teams, the Minnesota Timberwolves, are playing the Lakers in playoffs and doing well, and his Minnesota Wild. And then he mentioned, without my prompting, Zebuyam, the greatest rookie in the playoffs ever, who just decided to wait till the playoffs to play, because why not? Another guy who has a little bit of a height challenge against the Vegas Golden Knights, who we all remember with all the pedigree and the cup winning and everything they've been through.
Marco Rossi?
They got it all. They have it all, right? They can make it happen. Who do you got winning Game 4? This is a huge game for Minnesota at home.
Yeah, Marco Rossi is saying he's 5'9". He's a shorty too.
Shorties in hockey, they make it happen.
They make it happen. And so with these, I feel like when I pictured like these hardcore games, and like you just see who's like pushing who against the boards and who's the fastest. Last game, it was Minnesota, and they caught Vegas sleeping. So if Vegas loses this game, then it's down 3-1. And I don't think Vegas has ever like felt that pressure before. Like, obviously they felt pressure in these series, but
they're not comfortable like Edmonton is.
Yeah, and
Edmonton's like, we're down 2-0, 3-1. Okay. No problem.
Okay, let me just go win 4 straight. Let me go win 3 straight. It's no big deal.
I guess we'll try again. Yes, I hear you. So you think Vegas is not going to want to be down 3-1. Who do you have for this game? This is a pretty big game here.
I'm going to take Vegas. I want Vegas to do this. It's not like I don't want Wild to win, but I also don't want Vegas to completely win. So I'm on the edge about this series. But if it's just this game alone, I'm going to take Vegas.
I'm going to go against you again. I'm going to go with the Wild for all those who want to reference like how I did this last night. I can't be this bad all the time. Maybe I can. I got Minnesota winning this one in Game 4 at home. I just feel they're amped and ready to go. The Battle of Toronto versus the Ottawa Senators. We got it right this time. Game 4, Ottawa's down 3-0. Who do you have?
Oh boy, this is going to be big. Game 4, Toronto's looking for the sweep. They're coming in Ottawa. Ottawa's coming in hot, and Toronto's just looking to take this one to Toronto. You know, versus whoever wins in Florida. But Ottawa's not gonna let that happen, and Ottawa's gonna win this one. Stutzel, Batherson, they're gonna step up. They're gonna be hitting. Everyone, they're going to be physical, and that's what you need in these playoffs, like we said. And they're not going to let Toronto get away with this one. I'm going to take Ottawa.
I agree with you in my heart and in my head, and like I told you yesterday, I picked Ottawa. I'm picking Ottawa again. Makes me want to go up and pick Tampa because I picked Tampa. My heart wants Tampa. My head thinks it's Florida. So this one, my heart and my head believe it's Ottawa. I believe they win this one and they get the first of 4 in a backdoor sweep, making Toronto feel the wrath of their team yet again, not winning a cup. And
if you guys want a score prediction, 4-2.
4-2 Ottawa. There you go, everybody. Stars and Avs.
Ooh,
this one's
my favorite series.
The easiest one for me, for my heart and my head, which probably doesn't help anything. But this series, clear your calendars, folks. This night game is going to be a nightcap to be remembered. This one is by itself. It's the late one at 6:30. So you have a 4-peat. You start at 10 a.m., going all the way to 6:30, or if you're East Coast time, 1 o'clock to 9:30. So do your stuff in the morning, folks, because the rest of your day is going to be booked.
Yep.
So who do you have? Last game of the night.
No, this is my favorite series. It's been a blast, this one. I've had the most fun because there's been overtimes, and it's been close. No one has really had the edge in any of these games but game 1. And we haven't really, haven't seen much of, a full... Dallas has only led for a minute. So, it's not edge at all.
By the way,
but
you can get a lot done in a minute, Nick, in life.
So, since Colorado's coming in with Gabriel Landeskog and an injury, they don't want to be down 3-1 in Colorado because, which series was it?
They don't want Vegas Knights. You don't want the Vegas Knights going home down 3-1. You don't want.
They don't want 3-1.
You don't want doubt. You want to go on the road. They would be going to the road if they were down 3-1.
Exactly. So I do want to take Colorado, and I also want to pick Dallas, but I do see Colorado in some desperation here, and they're going to be chopping pucks across the board fast, and like we saw in last game, it was close, and these past 2 games have just been overtimes and just 1-goal games, and it's going to be desperation from Colorado, so I'm going to take Colorado, tying the series up.
I agree with my heart and my head says Colorado. So there you have it for those watching. Nick usually gets it right. So, Nick, to wrap up your picks again, you don't need to hear mine again. You have the Lightning, you have the Golden Knights, you have the Senators, and you have the Avs. So in your mind, you have the series going 2-1 Florida, 2-2 going back to Vegas, 3-1 going back to Toronto, and 2-2 going back to Dallas. That's the predictions, which means our first round goes a little bit longer because we're going to have some 7-game series possibilities with the way you're predicting. Hockey's great again. 3 games, wonderful. Crowds were amazing. Environments were incredible. I hope you enjoyed a beverage of your favorite choice, and I hope you enjoyed the hitting. The only thing that I'm missing tomorrow, but I guess I have to wait till Sunday. Sunday night is fight night because St. Louis is playing again.
Oh, boy.
And they're the early game. So here's the other thing. They're the early game on Sunday, which means they're 1 for you and 10 for me. So you get to wake up and get hit like that if you're Winnipeg. Can't wait to cover that tomorrow night, everybody. We appreciate your time. As always, don't forget to subscribe to Shorthanded. Don't forget to like. And as always, Nick, thank you so much for staying up so late and watching all of the shows and for your take, because at the end of the day, we're happy when Nick makes you money. Nick's happy when you make money because Nick can't make money on Nick's ideas.
And also, great day of hockey today. It was a great night. I loved it.
Many, many sweet dreams of the challenges. If you're a coach, shame on you for challenging like that. But LA, there you go. You're 2-1, and Edmonton feels it. They just feel it.
Yeah.
And if they can
Marty St. Louis.
If they can stop the power play one day, they may have a shot.
Oh my goodness.
So.
And if New Jersey can score on a power play.
Special teams, folks. It makes or breaks you in the playoffs. We'll see how they do. Long series ahead. 4 games tomorrow. Looking forward to all of it. As always, I am Brendan. That is Nick, and you're making money. Bye, everybody.
Yep. Peace.